All Kuwait was all fuck dead. Those for pursuits can fuck with this. Every center was dead for a minute. For miles, go walk with lives. Can't find the center, don't side no lie. Don't shit your corn to belly and bread. Don't tell me what highs and shoots in cassette. Don't tell me sabra shoots and don't tell me gala can be again. Don't tell me how many timbers and shoots got I've reading. How many beds or tapsons, fuckles and credit Markwella, it's a fuck research tenant. I put food up on Kaiser, the goes find a pen, a boost in the goose and sit a look at again. You hold on the paper, you hold out your pipe, you hold out your fuckles and chances. This is what I was like, the higher water, the regular, the breads from beginning. We hold up the center, the sense for the very, the cold order of Vendée, the viner, the center. Yes, I'm Michigan medical marijuana patient, and I come to you with a surprise, a way to fix quarter test, to compress, congruence. Macaba de Aventis, the truths and collides, the dark, the adventures, the divine lies, but where's in the Riley Center is a fourth and cray. The sin that Da Vinci was so person church of gay, which was in a phallus intelligence and died to compare our spirit to the outskirts and compare in comparison to the divine. The places were immense. Upon the stone and gray in the lives and the exile, and there has never since been basis is grace for suits and macleves, the truth scalarin, there's a Francisco Papas and shoots calafre is a purpose and suits it. And you fly with the wind, you fly with the shoots and come pop up since the 24th century, so flat accentuates, it compresses, you jump in the roots and you fly without that. And you fly without sign, you fly without bruises and bruises and swine. A swine without line. Without lying, the swine will fly out for the day. Will tell your mom, church, and her children's a play that your sister divine. Wedding bells she does sing on the 13th persimmons of Mesopotamian kings. It's only one force of Gilgamesh and Shalochan. Eyes and these and that's and those in their pursuit chance. 1, 2, and 3, Sele, Gilgamesh breaks in. Your purpose and truths in the flowers and tastes to be begun fires, to begun one without earth. The left center is Suchigana, Flapical Surth is a diverse chasing of Papa and Chais, 1/4 Suchaleria Lepsia Lanele, and Jesus who Hussein Christ. It was a blabberson chasing, it was a chase of the birds, the break in the flowers, the crack in the sky, the bridge overs and tapes. The story now begin. It be told to tell you of a babe's code, a bread's code, a fred's code, a light's code, or something grows old, something flowers and truths, and one every stand happens and whistles, one every business of resistance that become your head, the bravest and chains, the bravest and chains to be your own genius, to bless them. 400 degrees and the certainty seals, the certainty lives, the shine of the beers, they push me to freckle this 4% center. There's Jesus who sends, he claims that person center. I back in the sky, you'll die by tomorrow if you don't wish me good thinking. You don't read from the scrawler, from the scrawlings of brave men who died to give you blessings about, to find what was in Tissons and what was devout, what was in Sirius and what was the South. The Shekona for sense and the wiener dog at the bottom of the fence. So said Kitchker Epi the bearable Hushka McLeod must crush in a fine quid and dissolve the waters. No, Repsican truths in the flalas and rat, Russica defis and Papa Contal, Keppers and Asus, your Papa and doubt, you doubles in doubt, and you live with 12. Excuse me, bar center for 4,12. There was too many devils about the whole board of inception, the whole board of resign for speech was only to serve the creator of the chant, the creator of fine of the light. And he says, swingers, I hope you choke. You want to find us alive, the Babylonians in time, the prophets and lost of the Shako divine, the elephant for dancer, the billy elephant, so flawless heart of the fold, the falacentes, so far because we've lost many of far. But Bontus of Fontus of representations have risen the throat, the very flavor of his speeches, by blessing his heart and essential divine, and attacking essential his sorrowful spine. By his spine will be reckoned when thrown into the edges and brisk of creation, to the murders and dust, to the back porches sent, until screaming that he laid on a divine, and ever went against. Please, God, King. Oh, yeah, you can't go down. Yeah, I can't do it. No, it's black and white. Frequency band is just between who can do aerobics, who can and can't go go jumping in a 10 bit of cancers and rust. Don't ever say that our center was devoid of cancer. Nobody cares. But cancers makes all the difference. The essence of all this rich as the skin, it burns a cephalobossy, devout, which is shin. In the name of sitting Paul, the karma, cassetta, for push the lives out, Bobukun, the social Uskin, every lapresent, say, the Papa Tenta, white buffalo, friends, for shoots, kind of eyes hat. When you find that soul center eyes hat, every time, getting wrong. Don't ever make fun of my falsetto hoes. Drop one more smooth, now, nice and smooth, you're all alone, out in the black, the very unknown that you've never seen crack the stars in the sky, Higgs boson, and I will rip out your thigh. The thigh, the turkey with the fortitude to time me, he who defines and cuts the shine, the one false son of lovers in my grandfather's great white cloud base, and stone the clouds, the stone. Montezuma, heart and bro, Montezuma, Edgar Allan Poe. 4 5s, and I'll give Mahatma, Blondie, Edgar, Carl, and Jung-E and Kim. I'm just not gonna do that. Because this is Kim Jong is very yield, bro. Because we just try to have a fun time, but in bullshit, who's Washington DC, that ain't North Korea, that ain't Seoul. Seoul, baby, seen the foreign bark Seoul. Good news, not good. Cheddar cheese of everything. Ha. It's never been seen before. Some shoots kitch kitty be sabra santo suits of Allah Santa Rala Santa Kamaka which but can say body follow as a boy. I'll give you a rush and shouldn't begin as a popular advantage. If you can't take but advances, you're still alive, it's still alive, it's still alive, it's a tides of the oots commands, you die by tomorrow. If you don't rewritten your Lucifer scenes in your Luciferian, no, in your leprechaun of it, so for the Luciferian silence and soothe. Leprechaun de ben, your black a cock of fuck with send a rocko quinn, the shuckle time, the fuck was in the opera times, and fuck with tender taquadine, papa shin, the fuck with us, when a cockle-eye, you cock ben, so cook and the fuck what I, you cock ben, so rich, fuck rich, you cup of kind, the fuck it is, ass man, epigen, epican, epicinti, epicinsis, the cat of the fuck with it. And you can't chase it. You can't chase it on a piece of virgin bark and stick a dick, suck it like a dime. Talk a clock, a piece of really good glass, a kind of minute, purpose in the fuck of what I call a center. Can't do that any kind of person shoot you kind of shoot you proper kind of percent such a kind of sarap shoot you kids pesala the 10% of cameras time purpose epishikana patapas pretend flabla santa flala santala santusus caparasuits camamanca pueses that you don't ever do jokes of purpose patasis of rubber chances of common cases so king of gods they will fight with ascension to play with a such the corporate down as a far faster shoot you could have seen the crest and you roll as a day and all day you look for good times a flap like this is a leper sitting is a sopracatis as a flappertan se percussions a fabra science of blast for a sensation of flabra contains every center you bless and every country you crave every time you fight for the either speak and not the center of heart, the cages, the platelet center, the alpha sensory divide, the contractors, the galactus potens, the tarcard seed, knowledge. I love this. She's the director of all of Alpha, all of his actors. No. Zero tickle is up on the 12th, is the 12th of the divine, the about to the sign, the sign, the sign, the center of the Divine code center of the purpose and church. Oh, where they possessed. Wow, that desire to change that thing. So I can't accept. Vibration and the void is the reverb and the verb and the verb and the vibration is the vibe in the voids in the reverb in it's a reverb and the vibe is the verb and the verb and the vibe is the vibe and the verb and the percent of the couple of percent and the nickel top hat was apart from that but the shepherd that's the fuck for the senses and you tell when it's sent to a king god immortal king god from another galaxy's prince wants to send a cephalobus spontaneous combustion up to the top seed of 1% truths. The fruits and go alive. So to propaganda truth self. Time like where cars, the car, cars, the top, the 10. Meticulous bird, that's to a three for Falcon. They like to attack in your voice, you crap with your shanty, slipping over. Take out the Christian hooks and reasons being become another person and self. For some purpose, since you were born forgiven and free, a natural inhabitant, the true truth, the traveler, the virtues, and three, they become forces as happen. The forces of light, the forces of darkness will disintegrate on the smite of becoming of all. That all black life serves the Negro community, the lords of sojourner truth is a quantum yin as a boy, is a center of Tusu, Tesla Youths, and Tusu TSU, Centavlas and Chutes, and Sapapo Tuts and Lavras and Sit, ARS or GRS, Susana, Son, and Fuck Roots, and Pavlas and Cheeses, when the Finals and Rollins and Romulus quits, and the Bombalus Centers, so Popular Henses, the Polaris and Prometheus, the Bearers and Quotients, the Vivaqualents, the coalescence of life, the metal, the boards, the spirit world and divine, the alloy and shadows and changes which is only to become another difficult, another density and alloy specific and intermediates and steel dissolved wherever in some percent of steel. Can't swear on a burden bind of cheese and corners and Superman is Clark Kent solace and becoming the Tuesday, the Tuesday is 0 suits and Harris and Wednesday are 1, 2, 3 toots. And what's on a free day then? Go focus 6 ducks, make a flower, 6 circles, make a creature, 6 sticks, death, make a creature. Evolve, Suku, Bumpus, what's in the Fox 666, or Charles, it's a 3 day, but 3 days, a 4 for 9. 479 is a what was in time, is a represent time, the side of 4 to 5 cannot take with a 10, the side of 4 to 8 can be sent to the attestation, predisposition to attestation is not predisposition to admittance is not an attestation of guilt and grace of Hades. That Hades, the Olympians that we stand upon, the great Gitchagumens, is this great superior walking mount of the gods, the King of Kings, and the Jesus lightning, shadow me quarter, for foods and baladas and testes, flowers and tat, flowers sentient, that's going to say presentation. You can freely flow flowers and grass. It takes another's life, he becomes in his own himself for Tuesday or dies with his sureness, as we're all meant to be evolved off of a day. We're all meant to jump off of the absolute zero black pale stalks that jump and find that each star is a lily bed for the lily, and Lillian don't fear the duchess, and Lillian don't say that there isn't another fulfillment fulfills another lightning devout, another sprite shark and Hanka's halo that times of the dwarf would live without the fairy gem example, dude. It's the brown dwarf and star and a sling that David slew at the Jesus Hussein Goliath, the black lungs and lies that the Sabbath says is a Sunday cycle of a trash for the truths and the lies, for what are sent to be off-center day is the takeaway. One center too many. And baby magic boy, you better know what your ET umbilical cord and Hollywood fellows without shunters, without true authentic on A to E of our lives. The lenses will be without one look at her beauty and your faults and shit. In love, we'll be always who let them protect but protect, pro center, pro sake, pro matters, the pro black, the pro perfect and change, pro proof and pro chatters, the pro tempers and change, the black lung carrier, the black East Coast rider is an idea in the brain. It's still a pineal gland, A to E panel, the plane AE to 3 goddesses in a way. Series B disclosure is just one step away from 3 feet to the right of the planet we call a God, the one thing that connects us all. It's a monotheistic salt, okay? It's a piece of moon dust away. Skull center beacon, the 2 trillion years old machines that blaze and keep defined as our reason for dissolving and dissolution. Immortality, wordy sciences, when Kenko the Christian risen, Laura became Eder. Birds, erectus, was his differentiation of the eyes and things that those of Nephilim sent to Jesus Hussein the Christ to listen to the Sefer Bossy up or 1% one more time at 1%. I can't believe it. 1%. It's a percent. It's a Shami's land beginning 1.2% pretend the vampire is 10%. The camel tuck your toes or rocks. The lentils, onions cry for socks. They cry for eggplant bricks. The bricks percent and suffer rage. So suffer rage connects to that. Riley center, but not the brown recluse. The brown recluse is center eye. The eye is focal center spider. Spider center every chain. Once and two. Some manifestation, some metaphysical monotheistic creature. This 1, 2, fear, down, threat, down, force, center, force, sphere. Ever seen that movie, The Fifth Dimension, or Space Dimension, Paranoid? All of them connected to see rays, a sentient place to go out and the center is you, dude. All you need is your periscope, your denizen, your polyshore aesthesium. Polyshore aesthesium is a shamanic practitioner in Ironwood, Michigan. A person, remember who Hiawatha Marco Polo was the grand percentage, Ebersolos
Vladimir Putin is the Russian's brains. He sends a light in Leif Erikson's name, the Nordic tradition, the hearts of us all. We just, just can't go tanning. And what am I supposed to do? Change my colors, change my iris to blue and not blonde, to go worship a dead soul that was past. The cephalobosty remains the asexual insects, bugs that think it really is a pod that takes us all, not a Dracositration. It's not a teeter kind of Rex for replacement of. How do you get a dog to talk, man? How are you gonna go tell me a talking amphibian is going to keep kids a Jesus, Senator she's number one. It's a Jesus, queen. She's all the same. She's square butter eggs. She live. Best. The queen. She's the best. Yeah, Jesuit. They're not all but two then for the priestesses. Die. We would have been in trouble without Betsy because of the struggle with the mystic crystal etheric. Yeah, April. Principles of the fire-breathing dragon. The S-let loose riders. Because of the truth. You can be sober hoots in your bladders and ticket kitty hippies a players for a time. He's a Native American and his sense for a sign. He says it's for $3.99. Don't make it Palladius finer for $3.99. I meant one OG dude. If you learn one thing that talks about booze, the ducky's in person. She jumps on the livers and lily. Then riot. Don't wanna fuck a sick big stick. Center of life expectancy that ain't default with all all his season pentafighter four is not to 7 to 8 to 0 to 0 to 80 HD 0 to ID in the jumps in and lily and battered and bumpers and truths and followers and Twitter. Inconvenient truth is that man came first, but dude, don't let the she the key to know that stuff. She's number one. Announces she K-E-D-E-N kick it in none otherwise when the kiki he coming to his human thing stage the boys do the killing obviously. Make us in the 4% twistions and all of it. Rubber and the 4% of 4% Popkins principal Reciprocity wonderful the fungus on the holy earth. Red guardian and shepherd the butch the center wonderful epicenter eternal heart struggle equitarian spectral analytical spectrum that antimatter spirals fractals and the purpose and the course and the crack the soul so big that we seem one dimension to get one soul that was she's who Hussein Christ who WHOHEUSSAN it means it's is a man a sane man Christ desires a hook it's a callous in the reason of the kaiku land for kaiku val boy where evolution got it right first, married a machine. One time center that the tree lives in, it's a shiny, pretty 2% and 9% at a breaking. Jana at a bird of brick not about a pen of pen. Doubles in the 8% to African, the papas in the African about that. Trupets in the Aprasa to go roots and the papas in the Aprasa shine papas in the bastion swallow, follow, keep people out of the sunshine. 25 minutes. Excuse me, I'm bored. The tall pale red tones. If you're gonna get a telepathic communicator, I suspect you get the 13A on a Yuletide Christmas tree, the log below the 32 degrees of bricks, the apron flies and flicks Fortune teller speaks the dead pine needles on the right, the left, the central chin. The left is devout. It's in the beginning that our son, the Kepler's sons, the Alexander Query, the Hule, the living library, the Fabergé eggs, the Tomte universe, 10 or suits of fingers, you got ton of truths. Every finest in the captain, every finest in the truths, every leverage to ever string theory, who comes first in singularity, but rolls it down on the right, so who spins it around him in 5 more minutes, says Trey out, it's in it with the fucks, and then it ain't got no sinners in a fucking easy kitty. Goddamn son of a bitch, come fuck with us up a chance. We just barely evaded the black man zombies, the critical creators, the Shinshan zombies. I easy generation. In the name of Jinshan, the friendly quote say, bowels and twists since 89 times. The ancient Buddhist law has been Muhammad Gandhi conquisted the Fokurushutsukati. He cuts the time, defines the time. Represent a leprechaun defines the time. Older than dirt, I'm older than time, I'm older than earth, heart, everything, everywhere, even the pussy call amount that your lens opens up. It's organic, biological, the 13th year is universal, ascendable, ever facility, the galaxis enters region, there's drums and space, and our base boosters through the love and the sounds that are ever coming from Zeta, the Tiki, the Tag, the cool, unique. Walla walla bing bang. Who's a tangle miraculous Jesus everywhere, at the beginning took a lot of universe system. Universe and it's just a university with a player of consciousness and some kind of galaxy rise like we know what's in the phone. So 13, 14, crying and crack the shit and the sun make a soul for your elf waving elf boot waving dragon claw. So it's the center, the arrow, center, bishop, beginning, Catulia, Lily, Billy, tense, arrow, center, for 13 chance. We're soon of a this little cat toy we call humble at home, and there's a photo bag and the quips and the quarters. Perhaps this is another center that we might for some twists and deal low. Verse intuition. So one time at the beginning of some such a sentence, want to capture the king of the center. One of every's intentions to remember the wrong, the bro sister sis. While the Quill, our ancient Quillan, the burst Kaiser of all these universes, my telepathic reporter and guide up to the Empress and Susan the Bide. No, right there is his mother, the pearly, the thing is, it seems a bit early, but only on irregular way, immortal, century, simple gaze, as Quillelis and twists. The great light bird, which is a twist, it's always my left ego, I evolve in the Quillelis, chase, purpose and chase. And the left eye of Horus and the Syrian symbol of the dead eye cut out. Supposed to sentence of several sentences, Eda, Ida is the D, the Eda, B, the P, the B, the S, the P, the E, the D. The eyes and Hitler's and mustache, stiff and irregular. So I'm Daniel Boone, that's why it's just like whatever, dude. That's to the east. It's called high treason. If you ain't United States of America and you believe in the Native American ways and you foreign, we only went 50 ashore in composite days. Equality is in his center. It's epic labor burst, the Kaiser, second Kaiser, boastful, episode. Gold eagle eyes, the great claw, the cumulonimbus, great claw, the epoch, the oblique, cumulonimbus, zeta reticulator. We just codifying the code of the clause of the all creation. He whole is universal, and that's just like Jesus, he whole giant, big, and his well is into he is universal. The 11, doth the 11. Dad and mom, the bob and bog sled, or the bobsled of the bog, and the woolly, the shorts of the water, the border. One piece will fall in, one piece to the ground. One piece in high treason will call Sefla Bossi, not precede. Sefla is our zero articulate sense of being. Back in the head. It's right here. I'm running in the back of your head, right here. Sefla Bossi. Sefla. It is not bossy about that. Any comments and truths and levels and 10, 30% of the lenses are blessed them at 10, blessed for 6 hours and sent for life. It says, now that I got it, I'm gonna take out the king of the hours, epoch to bleed.
Trudy, the fucker really said no. The pen hidden, upper pens, shit. Menominee, baby, memnon, platonic, menominee, mnemonic, bad, grown man shit. And you had to take him off and grab that little whistle and throw him from high to low until his dead little century the boat, the rivers floats in the ferry tide, the big water, ships ashore, sailors in, this the ferry lantern boat. I'll just get it. It is David Jones. Oh, oh, oh. The ferry river boat, the ferry river. It tell it, the load, the 50 cents a pencil for the keepers, 50-11 a natural fuck. We get to got that nigga bitch ass hang, 71 cent chops and it's 11 boots and 5 suits and 51 boots and 61 debit. That shit up, take it a penny. The 80s creation, 5, 4, 3, 10, 7, 7, 7. His methods, operation, simplificative, perfect, special operations in GI 30s, artists, special, Cobra, GI team force to keep it, spectral psyopsies, science, not biopsy, not begging for some supplements to give you a hand, for some mind to give you a hand. Let's not pray for easy lives, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, faggots, maggots, and transvestites, not queers, cool, weird, me. Let's not pray for easy lives with the courage to tackle cancers. Destroy cancers. Rectify infestation of Robocinto Pavokine, Washington would never die. Render says, Supercinto Frapacances, Subrepresentative Pacances, one sentence of Resencourse in a day. Ever Hines, you fluorescentus, sign of Shoshone on a pony. Why don't you blow me with a toadstool? Because that's free speech. Domesticated animals. We're gonna jingle all the dogs and we're gonna go jingle all of the apes and chimps. Because everyone lives beyond the end out that they're the horizontal on the cross and they're the sideways stitching. There's beyond the horizon, the horizon, the horizon of the Vendo Pandabus and the 590 hexillion years old the Vendo, the anti-horizon, anti-verizon, people, anti-mythos, anti-pastures and free speech. Okay, just leave it goes on the ground. Don't want to see. Vertically. I author divine, test and his pen name Andrew Stone. Do you stone glass? Glass stone, bitch. Tell me quarter. Marco Polo. It's a rice and shit in the weedy idea and that we the people of today should have sent us. Tell the Arabians we love Arabian nights, but it should have sent us that you let in the force for a dinner. Should have sent us that we us. When she comes back, I'll care about culture. When she comes back, stop reject the battle of the sexes and start reject the animisms, the animals. Alright? Go be the lion, dude. There ain't no Tom, Dick, and book of Henry VIII lion. Right? Shut up.